Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 2. Okay, if you have not done so already, please come over to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBirds, dun 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 dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Come on now, do it with me now. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. And remember to relax, to relate, to release, and to center yourself. Okay. You can also like, comment, and share this video, which means hit the like button, comment in the comment section, and hit that share button, and it shares to your social media. You can also follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner, and the links to all of my social medias and all of other information is in the description box below. Okay, let's get started here. So, this is already starting to be a good season. It's only episode 2. It's amazing. So we see Grace and Sophia, you know what I'm saying, are at the hospital, you know what I'm saying, waiting. I thought AJ was dead. Okay, I'm like, why? They're at the hospital. Well, I'm like, okay, I guess they're trying to save him or whatever. The doctor comes out and say, he's a stable condition, that he needed a blood transfusion, he's going to have to be on a 72-hour hold. He has to see a psychiatrist and all these things because that's what they do when someone is suicidal. Grace wants to see him, and she's like, well, you can't see him right now because he's sedated, you know what I'm saying, and even when he comes out of the sedation, he will see the psychiatrist, and it's not a guarantee he will be ready for you to see him at that point. So, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and go home, get some rest, come back tomorrow, that's fine. And so she leaves. We also see Jacob. Jacob is at the storage unit, searching through the storage unit or whatever for, he's looking for that wheel. He can't find it or whatever. So he sees some fishing equipment. So he takes the fish equipment. I'm like, why you want to go fishing? But I mean, a good tackle box, a good fishing rod may be hard to come by. Okay, anyway, he takes that and he leaves. Now back at home, May is still not eating. She's still starving herself, and she's waiting for God to speak to her, okay? And she also wants to wait to marry Bishop until AJ is out the hospital, because we can't get married. Our grandson's in the hospital. We can't do that. Not on my watch. Well, not on her watch. So we then see Grace and Sophia come in and everything, and I need to calm my hair, but I didn't, but I didn't feel like it. Grace and Sophia comes in, and they're like, he doing okay, like, we can't see him right now, so it's tough, but, I'm going to go back, later on today, to see if I can get in to see him then. But we then see how she gives Bishop and May the keys to Mavis's juke joint. Okay, so when Mavis left, y'all know that was Oprah Winfrey's character who plays May's sister. When Mavis left, she gave her club to Grace. So Grace owns it. So Grace, like, if y'all want to use the club to be a location for y'all new church, you know what I'm saying, it's fine because it's been sitting empty all this time. Go ahead and take it or whatnot. They're going to go on down there and see about Mavis's juke joint. Now we then see Charity comes in. Oh, Grace, how's AJ? He's fine. That's it. He's fine. Yep. He's fine. And then she walks away. And she's like, oh, is she going to just continue to, to just act like that? Honey, May was, let me remind you, okay, you almost got her son arrested. You gave with our church, okay? If I had my way, I would sit you outside under a tree in the cold in a duck's cap. I say, oh, May, let her know, okay? And only your father was the one who wanted you to come out with it. It wasn't me, okay? You're a Judas. I'm like, May is pissed, okay? So, Chair, like you saying, I can't believe, like, I don't know why they keep acting like this. And Bishop say, well, it's not like your mother's all the way wrong. You did do some things or whatever. And so she leaves. I'm going to church or going to work where they like me. I'm like, don't nobody like you at church. They don't. They not at all. So Bishop and May sit down and whatnot, and saying, he said, when can we get married? Flag Day. He's like, okay, good. That's the date. Okay, Flag Day. I'm like, was May being for real? Either way I go, they gonna get married on Flag Day, which is June 16th. I don't know the day because they said it. No, we did see Clarissa and Zora sitting around folding clothes. I didn't care because I don't like Zora and I don't like Clarissa. Okay, now Jacob comes in from the storage unit, and he comes in like, hey Dad, where you coming from? What you doing? Girl, don't ask me no questions or whatever. Clarissa reminds him that, hey, we got that appointment in an hour. We got to get there, whatever. Are you guys in counseling? Is that what it is? And they like, don't worry about it. Leave us be. Mom, what's going on? She's like, Zora, one day you'll be married with kids and you'll, have a better understanding of, what I'm saying, of life, okay? But we see they actually was going to divorce proceedings. Now, Jacob told her, I don't need no lawyer. I'm not going to waste no money, whatever. Draw what you want and let that be that. I'm like, Jacob, don't do that. But Jacob's stupid. I mean, he's kind of stupid. So they there with her attorney, and like, we gonna need you to get a job. The judge is gonna require that, and you know what I'm saying. She wants physical custody of the son. And he's like, really? I want joint custody. And she was like, I thought you said that this was all settled. And then she kind of looks at him like, you know what I'm saying. I told you, give me what I want. He like, fine. I'm like, why would you? Because he just signed. I'm like, why would you just sign, girl? Anyway, he signed the stuff. I'm like, so don't that mean they divorced now? Put her ass out the goddamn house. Anyway, we then see Rick Fox's character, whose name I can never remember. And y'all put it in the comment section each time. I'm going to still call that man Rick Fox, okay? So Rick Fox calls Grace, because he don't know nothing's going on with AJ. And he's like, I was calling to talk to you, whatever, is everything okay? She's like, AJ tried to kill himself. He's in the hospital. He's like, damn. What can I do to help? And then she brings up how, you can just talk to me about what you called for so that can help distract me, about what's going on because I can't go see him until later on or whatnot. So he brings up how he's doing this whole story on Bob and everything and how that one white pastor, Pastor Cal, kind of is avoiding talking to him or whatever. So he and Grace go by the man's house because he was nice to Grace. He would talk to Grace. So he's thinking Grace can maybe help me get him to talk to me. So they get there, whatever, brings up how, Bob told all of us, to not talk, okay, to not talk about this story, whatever. He knows that, Rick Fox is writing a story and he does not want any of us to comment on it or whatever. So, leave me be, leave me alone, okay? And so they know now, okay, something's up, because why would Bob direct all the pastors to not talk unless they hiding something, okay? And so he asked, like, hey, we can go ride by this and go get some lunch or whatever if you need some more time, to kind of calm down or whatnot. She's like, no, I got to get back because Noah's coming and we're going to go meet, at the hospital to try to see AJ or whatever. Like, now, over at May was a juke joint. When May and Bishop walk in, they like, this gonna take a whole lot of work to fix up. Now, as y'all see, it do look run down. Okay, the ceiling coming in, like it needs a lot of work. Okay, and May like, I'm just so nervous, James, about starting over, like with a whole new church. Like, if we come here, we would have to just tear this place down and make it new. He like, why we gotta do that? You know what I'm saying? To do that, we need to talk to Mavis. You know what I'm saying? It's so much history in this building. It could be considered a landmark or whatever. All these, musical artists who came here back in the day, you know what I'm saying, and came and performed. Like, it's just a historic place. Like, we shouldn't do that. Look, okay, either it all has to go and we start fresh or I'm out, James. And that's it. Okay? And then she leaves. Now, when she leaves, like, oh, okay, I gotta do what I gotta do. So we later see Bishop on the phone calling Mavis to try to tell Mavis, hey, we want to, completely tear it down and rebuild. Now, even though Mavis gave it to Grace, he said, we're going to tear it down. That's something to at least tell her, even though Grace owns it or whatnot. So as he's hold on the phone, he then just hangs up. I'm like, well, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like May was possibly there, but she may have taken a long time to come to the phone because, you know what I'm saying, it was James. So we then see Bishop and he goes to May, who's laying down, just relaxing or whatever. And be like, you know what? I scheduled the contract. The contractor's coming tomorrow. They're going to give me a little estimate or whatever. We're going to get this whole place, rebuilt up to be what you want it to be, May. Oh, did you talk to Mavis? He's like, no, you know what I'm saying? We don't need her approval or whatever. We're going to just keep it moving and leave it be like that. Oh, okay. Well, that's great, James. That's good. He then says, so May, we should discuss getting married. She's like, what? He's like, yeah, we need to set a date. She was like, James, we talked about this today. You don't remember? He was like, when? Today? She's like, yes, you don't. He's like, and as he's sitting there, she's like, oh, he forgot, like he had really forgotten. And he was like, oh, yeah, flag day. Yeah, James, June 16th. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna put on all the calendar. But you can tell, like, Bishop, what's going on, Bishop? What's going on, Bishop? Okay, but May's face is like not letting him know. She will ask. He really forgot, but she looked a little concerned. turn, okay? Because that was just today. I digress. So we then see Charity. Charity at church, whatever, she gets to her office and she finds out that it's being repainted. Okay, it's being repainted because Judy wants it to be her office. So now she pissed, okay? And she get in there and whatnot because Phil told them to give Charity's office to Judy. So she goes to Phil, what? Why would you take my office? Why would you do that, Phil? Okay, he like, look, that office was always reserved for the first lady. She gonna be first lady, and you are an assistant pastor. Like, you should not have that big ass office. You know what? It already seemed like, you know what I'm saying, she controlled you. It's kind of crazy that she owns you already. I'm like, girl, look. You sold your coochie, okay, to this man for this church, and now things ain't working out. You know, when you do things crookedly, God don't reward you. You can't think that you sold out your family and was being sneaky and underhanded, and God will reward you for the whole pastorship and the whole office and the whole new man. That's not how blessings work, Charity. And you should know that, Pastor Charity. But I digress, okay? So she gets pissed off and she storms off. She goes in the bathroom and now she crying. We didn't care. Now we then see, you know, Charity and Phil have a conversation later because of the construction things not going the right way or whatever. You know, Phil don't know shit about contracting things and how to build something in somewhere where it was supposed to be a ramp. It ain't a ramp, and you know, he don't get it, but Charity does. And so here comes White Judy. Y'all know we don't like White Judy, okay? Now she's like, oh hey, and she comes in kissing on Phil, trying to act like she's a loving girlfriend. Phil don't love you. Phil don't even want you, but I digress. It just made me sick, okay? And when Judy then said, oh, you know, you can handle this with the whole, construction stuff, you know, that you good at that. Oh, okay, fine. So then Judy at the end, like hugging on Phil, but Phil ain't like, he ain't reciprocating. It's just Judy being all extra, whatever. And she's like, you know, he's only marrying you because your father's making him. He doesn't love you. He still loves me. And then Judy gives some Bible verse and then bring up how, you know, we just ignore insults and then move the fuck on. I say, move the F, girl. Well, she didn't say the word, she did the letter. But I digress. And then she tries to kiss Phil, okay? When Phil did not pucker them lips and Phil did not kiss her back, I tell you, I cackled, okay? And then, you know, Charity lets White leave out. And they're like, oh, you have such a classy, respectable, you know, wife or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? She leaves out. And Phil just looks stupid. Phil has got himself in the situation and how her and Phil got together and their plans to take over or whatever. They both is getting what they deserve. Phil, you deserve it with this white woman who you don't even want to be with because you were being sneaking underhanded. I digress. I don't really care. But again, Charity looks dumb and so does Phil. So we then see Noah gets there to talk to Grace. Okay, he finally there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The mother and the father of it all. That he tells her how great she doing the handling all this. He's really buttering her up, okay? Just singing her praises, okay? You know what I'm saying? She's like, well, how's your wife taking all this or whatever? You're like, you know, well, at first, you know, I was trying to make things work with her, you know what I'm saying? Until I realized how, you know what I'm saying, I was trying to hold on to something that really wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm just going to be here and we're going to make things work or whatever and see how everything plays out. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, so we can both be there for AJ as his parents. Now, when the doctors come out, you know what I'm saying, the doctor let him know that, you know, what AJ, you know, doesn't actually want to see either of you. She's like, what? But I'm his mother and I'm his father. I get that. But right now, he's like in this kind of shameful feeling space and he's just not ready to see people. So come back tomorrow and hopefully tomorrow he'll feel better, you know what I'm saying, to be able to see people. Now, outside when they walking and talking, he is still like, you know what I'm saying, we should be a family. I want to be here with you and with AJ. She's like, you know, you can't just come back and think it's that easy to come back in and swoop in as if, you know, everything is fine. Like, that's just not how things work. I've been here for 3 years and at times I still don't feel like it's, you know, we family or whatever. He's like, well, that's just you. That's just how you are. She's like, that's not fair. Don't say that. Take that back. Take it back. And now he's like, I'm sorry. I did not mean to offend. I'm saying, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Look, let's just come back tomorrow and we'll see what happens then or whatever. But you can tell she was mad that he felt like she's a person who doesn't connect with family because she's so heartbroken over what's going on with AJ and she feels as if she can't connect with him because he's not letting her in. So him saying that kind of was like a trigger. So Sophia, oh God. I almost feel like Sophia and Zora and this thing is a pointless story to me. But I mean, I don't know. So Sophia, she keeps calling that boy. Is it Damien? Dante. Damien must be Rick Fox's name, because I know it's with a D. I digress. His name may be Damien. Was it David? Girl, it's something with a D. But Sophia keep calling him Dante, okay? But he ain't answering. She keeps leaving the messages or whatever. So when she then goes over to Zora's little cottage or whatever, because she wants the playlist that Zora made for her when she was in the hospital to give to AJ since he's in the hospital. And Zora still being, is you still talking to Dante? She's like, what does that matter? Well, because you came here and messed up my stuff or whatever. I'm saying, so I ain't trying to be. I'm like, Zora, shut up. I mean, just shut up. You girl, you get on all our nerves. Zora has this holier than thou. I've never made any mistakes, or anybody who does something that I don't like, I'm pissed at them. You ran away with a whole abusive man, okay, and treated Sophia like shit. But all she tried to do was support you. Oh, heifer. Anyway, when Sophia then say, give me a break, okay? I just lost my virginity, to a guy who may be back with his girlfriend. I'm saying, leave me be. Oh, so y'all had sex? And she's like, yeah, we need to talk more. I'm like, oh, so now you want to talk to Sophia when you feel like it's some juicy gossip. Ooh, Zora is just as bad as her mama, but I digress. Anyway, so now she kind of knifed to Sophia, and gives her the playlist or whatever. But we then see, Sophia keeps calling Dante, and when she called him again, the Nikki girl answered the phone. I'm like, why is Nikki at his house? I'm so confused. Girl, that's why I feel like, I'm like, why is we still, like, if he back with her, but I'm gonna let it be. I think it's such a little part of the story. I don't know why it aggravates me so much, and I don't like Nikki at all. But I'm leave that be. Now we then see May and Grace. End up sitting around having a whole conversation on the front steps. Okay, now May was coming back from visiting Faith's grave. She brings up how this thing with AJ. It just has me thinking about what I missed with Faith. But now you get a second chance to get to know your child, meaning my child committed suicide and died, whereas your son, tried to do it. He didn't, so now you have another chance to try to fix whatever is broken with him, and I didn't have that chance. Now, Grace brings up how hard it is to not be able to see AJ because he doesn't want to see me, so, she feels rejected. And May brings up, when Faith died, I would go, visit her room. And now I go visit her grave. I would go and visit, and I have this idea of her, of what it would be like when I talk to her again, like when I go into heaven, just greeting her or whatever, and I have these thoughts of what could be, and I get how different it is for you because you're being told that he don't want to see you, and I embraced. It was a really, really great moment. And then here comes Charity. Okay, Charity up here, Mom, Grace, what can I do? Because they both like, what do you want? Like, why are you here? Go away. Leave me alone. Okay. No, wait, what can I do? Do about what, Charity? Like, this how it will be, for the rest of our life. Y'all avoiding having any kind of like real, conversation with me. Like, y'all just keep avoiding me, for the most part. And so Grace, like, what, I can't do this. And she gets up and she walks away. And then Charity, like, what I'm saying? I should just moved with my baby because I can't take this no more. We got Judy at Calvary on my nerve, whatever. Then you two here. I can't take much more problems. And May so eloquently put to her, Charity, I just came from Faith's grave. Grace just came from her son's hospital room, but her son doesn't want to see her. Okay, you don't know anything about problems. And she walks away. I said, that's you. Charity has a way of making things about her all the time. If anything else happened to someone, she always say, but what about me? Okay? What about what I need? Because you promised me, Curtis. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do Dreamgirls. So we then see Jacob and Clarissa. Jacob and Clarissa gets home from the therapy, the divorce proceedings or whatever. And Zora is like kind of pissed, you know what I'm saying? Because she's like, y'all getting divorced, ain't y'all? And I can't believe this. Oh, you must be cheating again, Dad. And he kind of waiting for Clarissa to say, well, no, it's kind of was me this time. Wasn't your dad this time, you know what I'm saying? But she don't say shit, so Zora walks away pissed off at her dad. Now, knowing your mama is actually the one who broke up the marriage at this point in time. Now, I know people say, how can anybody be mad at Clarissa for cheating when Jacob cheated for so long? The difference is, when Jacob was cheating, Clarissa accepted it, forgave him, and they moved on. And when when Clarissa cheated, he was upset mainly because you cheated on me and brought me an STD. Like, that's why he's pissed. I think if he had not gotten an STD, he may have been able to get over it. But the STD just made him be like, I can't do that. You understand? And two right don't make a wrong, but I mean the STD is just different. And that's my opinion. Okay. So when she leaves or whatever, they're like, I know you're not gonna let me be the one, to take the blame for this. I'm saying, I'm gonna tell her the truth that it's really you. It was you. She's like, after all the years of me, protecting your cheating ass. Really, Jacob? He says, look who talking as you taking there, as you standing there taking your slut meds. I say, slut meds? I mean, I guess, if you got a STD, you gotta take meds for it. That'll make her a slut, but I mean, men are assholes. So then again, she said, okay, you gonna tell her whatever? If you do that, I will show the will to whoever. He like, but you don't even know if the will is even, a means to something that was done illegally. I don't care. I will take the will to the police and then we'll see what happens. So then what does he do? Nothing. I'm like, look, she keep threatening him with that will when the will really isn't proof of anything. Not nothing. Okay? Look, I feel like when Clarissa is on a rampage, tell your mama. I don't understand why Jacob is not telling his mama or his daddy that Clarissa is trying to possibly take the house. Okay, so there's anything illegal going on, we need as a family to come together to defeat the ultimate Mortal Kombat opponent, Clarissa. Okay, it's not. I know it's Clarissa. I keep pronouncing it wrong. We don't care that much. So we leave that video there. So we then see Sophia. Sophia comes and she gives Grace the playlist to give to AJ that she got from Sophia. And girl, Sophia comes and gives Grace the playlist that she got from Zora for AJ. So we then see Charity comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here, to apologize. I'm not here to say I'm sorry. We're fine. Because if you was here, I wouldn't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear Charity. Grace, I'm just here for this. And then she gives Grace an envelope. What is this, Charity? Just read it, okay? She opens. She's like, what is this? It's a poem. It's a poem I wrote when I found out that I would lose one of my twins. Because she was pregnant with twins and the girl died and she had the boy. And so Grace reads it or whatever. And she was like, it was, whatever little poem about, losing a child and everything. And she's like, why are you giving this to me? What is this? Well, because I know how you feel, Grace. You know what I'm saying? I, too, lost a child. And Grace was like, no, you don't know how I feel. I haven't lost a child, okay? If you knew how I feel, how could you turn my son's attempted suicide about you? What kind of person thinks this is helpful? What, okay? Why would you do this? And I'm like, that's true. Like, my son ain't dead. Why would you give me a poem about your dead daughter about my alive son? Like, it's not the same thing at all. Like, it's one thing to say, I know how it feels to be scared, of losing a child. Okay, it could. But to give her a poem that you wrote about your dead child, I'm like, girl, that's just kind of crazy. And so Charity gets upset, like, you and mama deserve each other. And you deserve you, Charity. You deserve you. So we then see May. May finally eating. Okay, she eating some little food or whatever, and I'm like, good, get a little food in your system or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We then see Jacob. Jacob is out on a little porch by the water, fishing or whatever, with his son. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes into the fishing tackle box to get something for the fishing or whatnot. He's like looking for whatever. He finds an old envelope underneath all the stuff in the tackle box. He opens it up. It's the will. And the will, that Mac hid in the tackle box, figuring nobody would ever look in my fishing tackle box for a will, from 1932, whatever it was from. And saying, and in the will of this, we see him just say something about Daryl James. I think Daryl James was Basie's people. I think that may have been Basie's daddy. Okay, so again, if the will from before was left to the Basie people, to the skanks, fuckery all afoot. Okay, anyway, you know what I'm saying? From there, we see Sophia at her little room or whatever, and then Zora come in. Did you send Dante a topless pic, you know what I'm saying, of your breast? And she was like, so what if I did? She's like, girl, because if you did, it's everyone's business. So it looks as if Nikki, who had Dante's phone, sent out Zora's titties, I mean not Zora, Sophia's titties to everyone. Okay, I'm like, I don't like, and if Nikki did that and Zora is still cool with Nikki and is pissed at Sophia, Zora not shit. Okay, when y'all are family, you don't pick nobody over family. Period. Okay, so we gonna see. We then see Grace gets a call from White Path to Carl Weaver. Okay, and this he like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna tell you something. And as I tell you, we will never talk again. You know what I'm saying, we can't speak no more, or whatever. You can't say you heard it from me. Like, you gotta leave me be. Let your reporter friend know to leave me alone after I tell you what I gotta tell you. She's like, okay, that's fine. Eden Vale Lending. She's like, what? He says, Eden Vale Lending. It's a company. That's all I can say. And then he hangs up. And she's like, oh, well, I got some information. So we do see Bishop in the house sitting around, you know what I'm saying, listen to old music, the old gospel music, I'm saying, trying to just enjoy a glass of scotch or whatever. We hear glory, glory, hallelujah, you know, when I lay my burdens down and everything. We then see Grace, who goes down to the hospital to wait for AJ. And we then see Jacob go on to knock on the door. And who is it? Tasha Skanks. I say, not the Skanks. Not the Skanks. Okay. Tasha Skanks, who we know has always loved Jacob, and Jacob likes Tasha. I feel like when him and Carissa's done, he gonna go be with Tasha Skanks. Okay. Anyway, he like, Tasha, I need to find Basie, and she's like, Jacob, Basie's dead. I was like, Basie's dead, girl. What do you do? What happened or whatever? So I'm like, and that's how the episode went on. It was a good episode, y'all. It was real good. Anyway, I'm all done. Do not forget to like, to comment, and to share this video. To follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. And until next time, people, peace.